updates yesterday along with the competition. Just send me a quick email or comment on the post in the Facebook group. That works too. The ways that you've been pivoting your business. What we'll do this one a little bit more raffle style. So everyone who participates in that will have a chance to win this week. So that'll be super fun. And yeah, I think that's really it. We don't have a ton of beekeeping. So now I'm going to introduce Blythe. I'm super envious of your cookie kitchen. This looks awesome. So I'm excited for you to kind of take things over. Blythe recently moved here from Chicago and owns a cookie decorating company now in Grosse Pointe. So I'm going to let her take things from here.
Well, thank you so much. Can you guys, everybody hear me? Mm-hmm. We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Like Hunter said, my name is Blythe Mercer. I own Plateau Cookie, and I'm a custom cookie artist. And I make cookies. It's my jobby hobby, and it's kind of grown into a nice little job. So when we moved here, like 8 months ago from Chicago, we did a small kitchen build out in my basement so that I had a place where it can just be me and no one else. So I love that, and it's worked really well. So I'm just going to do, I guess I'm just going to walk you guys through how to make some cookies, or how to really decorate cookies. I have a bunch of blanks, and I'll move my camera down a little bit so you actually won't see me, but you'll see what I'm doing. But I just started with a bunch of blanks. I actually have a recipe that I developed. It gives me a really good edge to do flooding on and piping, which gives a really clean cookie. It's a cream cheese, sugar, butter cookie are the ingredients. It's a bakery cookie. And the nice thing is I came up with a recipe that really holds its shape in the oven. I am a home baker. Self-taught mostly. I spent the last 2.5 years in Chicago contracting for a small company, developing and formulating recipes for manufacturing in the bakery. So one of the neat things is I walk into Walmart sometimes and I see cookies that I've developed there in their bakery shelves on their modules. So that's really been fun, and I was able to apprentice with a chef for the last 2.5 years to really learn more about baking science, and just developing and formulating recipes. So that was a little bit about me. I'm going to angle my camera down just a little bit so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And hopefully, can you guys see that okay? There's a couple different ways to pipe and flood cookies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bunch of different flours for you. Very, very simple techniques. And then I'll show you some more complicated stuff that I do more on a daily basis. But somebody tuning in today will be able to come win these flowers if they want to come pick them up, these cookies. And I've got some tulips and some other flowers behind us that we'll be working on as well. So there's a couple different ways to pipe and flood cookies. Most people do it with piping bags, and then they actually outline and then fill in. I do so many cookies that I usually, by now, I often will just spoon it in and use the back of my spoon to do things that are easy shapes with a quick fill. So I just spoon it on, and I use about, they call this a 10-second flood consistency on the cookie, and I just move it right to the edge, and it just fills the cookie nicely. Now, the icing that I'm using, there is a difference between icing and frosting. I am using royal icing, and that is a recipe you can just Google up. They're all the same. It's made with meringue powder, confectioner's sugar, water. Some people also add cornstarch. Some people also will add corn syrup if they don't want it so hard. But the difference is this will dry really flat. And here's one that's already dried, and it's like a candy finish on it. It's flat. you can't push on it. Like frosting, which has a fat base to it. Frosting is used for cakes and cupcakes, things like that, where you can pipe beautiful flowers and edges and stuff, but if you touch it or the box hits it or, you know, you put your fingers in it, you're going to ruin your cake. You're going to, the thing will crush because it is a fat base. This frosting will not because it finishes, it's a sugar base. So it just dries completely, completely solid. So I'm just going to pipe one more of these so you guys can see. And then I will do one with a bag too, so you can see how that works or just the difference. But I do usually a lot of cookies when I do them. So if I have easy shapes that I can just spoon on, I prefer to do that. So there are some ridges in this one, but as it sits down on my drying rack, it'll flatten out. So here's another one that I did. This one has this is called a wet on wet inlay. It's totally smooth. You can't see, the coral color is not raised up at all. And we achieved that by taking a small little piping bag. Let me cut the tips off of mine. I had them all, I was filling them earlier this morning. I always often pipe things on paper, get my bags going on paper so I can get a nice line. This one's actually going to tip over. So to do a wet on wet inlay, I take, this is a wet cookie that I just did. You can tell because it's still shiny. And then I've got my wet icing. And I'm just going to drop it on. And I'm just going to make a design in the icing. And it will achieve that look as that dries. So, as you can see, some of you can maybe see this. Sometimes I get that. I take my finger, I pull it around the edge, wipe it on my rag, I move on. If your cookie spills over, it's not a big deal. If it's wet, you can usually pretty easily fix it. So this is one application, wet on wet, looks like this when we're done. I'm also gonna put some really cool, let's put a really cool middle in that. I'm gonna open up my yellow. And I'm gonna do a sugar, what's called a sugar overlay on my middle. I'm going to take yellow because I want my middle to be yellow. I'm just gonna drop a little circle. It's wet, you see it, it's raised up. And then I'm just going to take my sugar, maybe just yellow sanding sugar over a bowl. I'm going to take it on, shake it off, and then you get this cute little middle that's got this little sugar sparkle bead in the middle. So very easy way to do cookies. You can also take a dry cookie and do a design similar to the wet on wet that we did. I'm going to actually do it in the same color yellow, because why not? And I am going to make the same little yellow design, and I'm going to actually do a sugar overlay on this as well. So that's what it looks like. And I'm going to hold it over my bowl, pour the sugar on, tap it off. It's going to look like that. And I'll add a middle as soon as it dries, just a little bit more. So that's kind of daisies. We can, I'll add a middle to this one with a sugar overlay. Or actually, you know what? I'll add this one without a sugar overlay. My cookie is dry, and I'm just going to add a bead and just leave it like that. And I'll do this one with a sugar overlay. Sometimes you can just take your spoon and re-scoop your sugar if you got a little bit. And if there's any questions during this, you guys feel free to just shout out if you're wondering what I'm using or what I'm doing or if I'm going too fast. Just let me know. So that is, those are the daisies. I'm going to move on. Just going to pop this behind me. And I've got some tulips here. So this one, again, I just spooned on. It is hard. It's all dry. Same with this one. And these are just a flat. Sometimes when you want it to look like it's got a little bit more dimension to it, make it look like that. I'll show you how to do that. This I just spooned on. I did it all in one application. When I start to do stuff like this, it's a layering technique. So I'm just going to finish it up because I'm going to go ahead and fill in this third. I just take my little icing bag and I just line exactly what the cookie does. It's piping and filling in. So I'm going to let that dry. To do it this way, to get that dimension, you have to do it in stages. So you need to allow probably 10 to 20 minutes between doing sections. I have a dryer, so I can sometimes get away with doing it a little quicker. But you just do one. I piped this one this morning, and then I will go in. I'm going to follow that line, kind of come up here where I think that other petal would go. So I get around here. And then I will go ahead and just go ahead and fill this in. So I just kind of squeeze it. Fill it in. Sometimes you'll notice you get a little bubble in there. I tend to work the bubbles out with the tip of my bag. And this is actually a tipless bag. It's these little bags, and then I just snip the tip to the side I want. I have a tipped one back here too. I'll show you on the next cookies. But I'm going to let that sit for about 20 minutes, and then I'll come back, and then I will fill in this middle area. Another fun thing, this was the middle area we just filled in. If we wanted to give that not only a different dimension, but just, you know, dress it up a little bit, I can pour a little bit of this yellow sugar on it. And then the middle part is a little sparkly. And this extra sugar, when it's all dry, I just take a brush and I just brush it off. And then it just falls right into the lines perfectly. So if you guys can kind of see that. Another fun thing to do with tulips, if you don't want to spend the time doing the 3 different applications, and you don't have that time, go ahead and you can cut it down. You can cut it down to 1 or to 2. You take your dry cookie, and I am just going to kind of pipe what the tulip would look like. Okay. You can leave it like that. Or I have pink sugar. Apparently I have a very brand new pink sugar. Let me grab an extra one. Sorry, I've got stuff in my drawer. Carefully pick this back up over my bowl, and I will just pour the sugar over those wet lines, and the sugar sticks. And then it looks like that. So, any questions so far? So I keep going. Put this back over.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm like, I put it on my big screen and I'm just like mesmerized right now. But if anybody has any questions, please feel free to chime in. You can even just like unmute your microphone if you don't want to pop up on the screen, but feel free to chime in.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pipe this one. These are ones I'll finish later. And I'm just really kind of mashing it in into those lines. I like to, that was really jumbled up, wasn't it? Technically, this line that you make is called your dam. And then when you fill it in, that's called your flood. Just so you guys know some techniques. So I usually make my dam. In the olden days, things have come a long way. You used to make a really firm royal icing and you would make your dam and then you'd set your cookie down and you'd let it dry and then you would mix your firm frosting or icing with a little bit of water and you'd get it to a flood consistency and then you'd spoon it in and pull it to the edge. But somebody came up with the novel idea of just making kind of a medium filled consistency. It's called a 10-second flood and you can do it all in one process. So times have changed in the last 16 years since I've been actually doing this. So those are pretty, those will go together. Here's something I often do when people have larger parties or they have a lot of people that they need, they have a lot of people at their party. They want some really fancy stuff, maybe with logos on it, or I do a lot with event planners, and they want things that are personalized to the bride and the groom or for showers. But they have 100 people coming or 80 or 50 people, and that gets a little spendy when you're doing all cookies. What I will do sometimes is just offer, I can throw in a dozen of these little polka dots into those large orders for very inexpensive, and then they go on the plates with the cookies, and I always suggest doing, several shapes and a good color palette, and I can help people with design. But just doing these little bite-sized cookies and adding them to your order just makes things look really good because you've got tons of different shape and texture, and it's just economic. So especially when you've got big parties. So this one I did, and then I sprinkled with those little ball things are called nonpareils, and I just mixed yellow, pink, and orange, and then I just poured them over the top. I still have the pink sugar out, so I can do this one in pink sugar. It just makes a little sparkly bite cookie. And so I'll often just throw a bunch of those, do them in coordinating colors to go with your order. It's just an economic way to stretch your budget. I'm really good with working with people on a budget. Let me grab the other type. I'll show you guys a couple different, another application. I have got these cookies. So these are just little flowers. This one I did that wet on wet application. It's totally flat. Those are not raised in the cookie. And I just did little yellow polka dots on the coral background. This one is a little bit different. I just did lines and I dragged my scribe through with them. And that's just another design you can get. And then I did a plain one. Let's see. For you guys, I was going to, okay. So this is a stiffer icing. It's probably more like, well, it doesn't even flood. So when I say a 10-second flood, it's when I'm stirring up the icing like this, and I pull my spoon through it, and it comes back together flat in my bowl in 10 seconds. This is a piping consistency, so it just, when I'm mixing it up, it's looking stiff. So I just wanted to give you another way to do flowers. You could just do petals. You could take your pipe and you can just go like this all the way to the middle. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a pretty design. Flowers are all different. Just kind of making some petals. There we go. And it kind of makes, then you can see the lines in it. And then you can take something like this. These are, you know, like little confettis and sequins. I'm just gonna pop that right on top for a pop of color. So that's another way you can do it. I am going to see, I can use, I want to show you guys a cool, did a stiffer pipe. I'm going to show you guys kind of like how to do a spider web type design. Let's see, I guess I'll do it in pink. So this is my flood. It's pretty liquidy, and I will spoon that onto the cookie. Put this one over here. And again, this is, for me, is a very easy shape for me to just spoon it in, and I just take my spoon, the back of my spoon, and I push it right to the edge. And because of the type of cookie I have that gives me a sharp edge when I cut and bake it, it does tend to help to hold my icing on my cookie. So quick to do that. And then again, I'm going to do a wet on wet application. I'm just kind of smoothing it out a little bit. Lots of people will tap them too. They just tap it a little bit and help the flood to, you know, even out a little quicker. Let's do, I'll do coral. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start in the middle and I'm going to spiral out. You guys see that how I did that? I probably should have done it with yellow. Let's do yellow too. It'll just make it pretty. I'll do yellow in the middle of that. Doesn't have to be perfect. You could leave it like that if you wanted. I am going to grab my scribe. What's a scribe? It's a little pokey thing that you use for detail work. And I am just going to take it and I'm just going to lightly drag it, and it'll start to look like a spider web pattern. And because it's wet on wet, it'll kind of mend itself back together, like those little scrapey lines that are, hold it up here. There. Oh, I see a little reflection. Hopefully you guys can see that. Kind of looks a little tie-dye almost. Oh, sorry, I can see that the light there. And then, you know, if you want, you can wait for it to dry and put a little middle on it. You could do that little sugar overlay middle, or you could take another one of these little sequins and drop it on. So, let's see. Yeah, you could do any middle. Let's pipe a little pink middle on this one. Actually, we can make it a really big middle. Some flowers have. So I'm just really eyeballing it with the pink, and then I'm going to spoon some pink sugar on it. So that's what it looks like. You could also, I'll just do that. So you could also pipe an edge around it. The one thing I like about cookies is it allows me to really be creative. And I started this when my kids, I had 4 kids, 5 and under, when we lived in Portland, Oregon, and my husband worked in Manhattan. So he would commute for 2.5 years. He commuted to the East Coast, and we continued to live on the West Coast. With, I was so thankful that I didn't have to work. I didn't have to worry about paying bills or going to work when my kids were sick. But I did need some type of creative outlet. So my neighbor and I actually started doing this and then just giving them to the preschool teachers or Sunday school teachers or neighbors. And it's actually how my business started. Just talking to, or people seeing me that I was giving them away, wanted cookies. I was like, sure, I'll make some for you. No, not a problem. And then eventually having them ask if they could buy cookies. And I gave them away for a long time, and my husband's like, you might have something here. Maybe you want to think about opening a business. So when we had moved to Seattle, I did. And so we were in Seattle for 8 years, and then we moved to Chicagoland for 4, and that's where I most recently came from. But the nice thing is I have a business that I can pick up and move, and it's usually pretty well accepted by people. So this cookie, I just did those little nonpareils, and I just put it on the middle. So I have a couple cool things I want to show you, but those are flour cookies, so kind of easy. One of the newer trends out is marbleizing cookies, and that looks like this. And to blend all those colors, and then so I just recently started doing that. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I've got like a dark purpley color, a sky blue color, a grayish color, and then I'll use you can throw a light color now. I'll use a little bit of coral. And I'm just going to take a plate. You do want this to be pretty watery because it needs to pick up on your cookie easily. So I just need to, icings have to be stirred a lot. So I'm going to stir it up, and this is going to be mostly my base. I really am just going to dump it on my plate. Really easy. My wash bucket. I'm going to open up this purple. Give it a quick stir. Mix it all up. And I'm really just seriously going to kind of scoop it into my plate. This is really like a little kid art class. And then I'm going to move that back. And blue. You can use any colors you want. I just thought these ones might look really pretty together. I'll just around like that. And then let's do a little coral stripe through the middle. Often I'll take my scribe and I'll just kind of mix these up a little bit more. And then you just take your cookie. It's just a plain blank. And you're going to stick it. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. I'm going to stick it in, and I'm going to kind of roll around the edge so I make sure it's on the edge of all of them. Pick it up, and I just kind of give it a twirl, and I get something like that. Tends to get some bubbles in it. Pop those little bubbles. I use my scribe. You can use a toothpick if you don't have a scribe. I used a toothpick for years. I just got really fancy in the last 2 years probably and got a toothpick, or I got a scribe instead of a toothpick. Take your next one, straight up, and then you can flip it to one side. Up. See, and that one, you can see how it missed some of the cookie. No big deal. Just put it back in. That one didn't turn out. I don't think that one turned out as pretty. I'm going to help it. I'm just going to pick up some and swirl it through. And just kind of go like that. And then it's watery, so it'll start to kind of fall on your cookie, and you can see it changes the image a little bit. So if you hold it up and do a little bit of that. And then sometimes as my plate's getting more gray, which is my base color, I want to add a little bit more. I'll do one more of these marble cookies. And then I'll show you guys something else. And then I'm not sure timing-wise, Connor. Are we doing okay?
Yeah, timing-wise, we're doing great.
Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit like this. Drive it up a little bit. And then pop this one right in the middle of the color. You know, the harder thing with the marble cookies is you cannot control. You just have no control over really what you're going to get. So this one, I'm kind of letting it fall down to the edge because my edge didn't take too much. And then I will use my little scribe and I will pull it to the rest of the edge. And then there's another one. So very cool. Sometimes I use these if I'm doing something with the galaxy to make it look like, you know, the night sky or something that has to be swirled. Often I will take, this one's dry, I did this one a long time ago. These are called food writers, and they're edible markers for the most part. Let me just set this back over here. We'll talk about edible markers for a little bit. But often what I'll do when I take the marbling, I'll pull a dark line and I'll take it and pull this through. And so what it does is it starts to look like it's really marbled, or it just gives a better effect. And so you just try to find the line and you follow it. So that's how we do marbling. I do a lot of logos and designs for people. Let me show you these real quick. This order is going out today. So a lot of, watch them all slide. You guys can kind of see those. It's for the COVID, wash your hands. I've had lots of orders for that stuff. Another one going out today, getting people to celebrate, you know, just celebrate whatever. These are actually going, somebody bought them to donate to healthcare workers, and then I actually matched part of their donation. Often I do lots of things that have detailed work on it. I have to be exact. I often pipe things first on paper. It's just a piece of paper with icing on it. I was doing logos for Lakeview High School graduates this week and last week and this week. And I just wanted to make sure before I ruined a cookie that my flood was a good consistency so that it was smooth and that I knew what the heck I was doing. So it's always good for me to practice. I practice a lot on paper. And then let's go back to the food writers a little bit. I have these in every color. I do use them for little tiny detail work. Somebody had ordered Vera Bradley bags. So this is the finished, I have a couple of them. So these are the finished designs that I came up with. And I pulled patterns off Vera Bradley to try to, you know, just decorate them the same. This is my finished one, but this is what I did with the icing work. So the rest that I did in that, I filled in with the food writers because they're little tiny details. So I just truly looked at what the pattern was, and then like the little green circles on the thing, those had little blue splotches in them. So I just went ahead and I took my blue marker and I did the little blue colors in there to make it look like it. And then the blue dots had little pink speckles around them. So then I went through and I just dotted around all the little blue dots with my little food writers to try to make that, make it look a little bit more like what it's supposed to look like. And then these little brown dots were supposed to be like little tree looking things. They're supposed to be connected by little branches. So I just went through and I connected them. And then just added into it. So, food writers. I mean, they totally write just like markers, which is great because they're 100% edible. So it's just edible ink. Makes things very easy. And helps my creativity sometimes. So those were the little Vera Bradley bags that are going to the life. And then another way in the last year or so that I pivoted my business, or just not even due to COVID, but just new designs that I try to figure out and come up with. Actually, let me just get this open for you. Is I have a whole line of paint your own cookies, and they come in a bag like you see. This was people wanted Elf on the Shelf, so I did Elf on the Shelf cookies, and then I was actually able to take my food writer and I personalized if they wanted their name on it. But this little cookie is $5. Comes wrapped in a bag. Comes with this little food safe paintbrush. You just dot the water. Get like a little shot glass of water, and then you just touch it to the disc, and then you paint. You paint your own cookie, and this is 100% edible. So those have been fun for parties. I can do any design you want. I can do unicorns or numbers and cars, and I did a whole bunch of Star Wars ones. I did a bunch of little animals, and so that's just another, twist on cookies. And then as far as like baking and cookies go, I'll put you right back up. As far as baking and cookies go, I'm a fairly talented baker in all arenas. I've just had a lot of practice that I've gotten into. I enjoy doing it, but Plateau Cookie only does these cream cheese bakery cookies with the pipe and flood. I don't sell anything else. But my family, my cousins and nieces and nephews and stuff are constantly hitting me up for fun cakes. So I enjoy doing that, but I have such an appreciation for people who can make these beautiful cakes, because I think that is just a gift I enjoy playing around with, but I don't have. But yeah, I often get questions, do you do any other types of cookies except for these? I just do these. My husband and I were talking yesterday about maybe offering seasonal flavorings. I might throw out spring, maybe a lemon cookie with a lemon icing, and then maybe like a pumpkin spice cookie with a pumpkin flavored icing for the fall, or maybe try to do something like that. So I'm just kind of thinking about some different ideas, but that's kind of it. That's Plateau Cookie. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or want to see anything else, or
Definitely. No, this was awesome. I switched you over to the bigger screen and I can't figure out how to get it back. So if anybody else has any other questions or anything, now is your time. Just go ahead and take your phone or your computer off of mute. That's going to be in your either upper left-hand corner or your bottom left-hand corner. So I'll give everybody a chance to do that.
Blythe, my name's Harriet, and I have a question for you. When you do logos on cookies, they look so accurate. Do you just freehand those, or do you use a stencil?
For years, I've freehanded them. In the last 4 years or so, I have a projection machine at my decorating station over here that I pop the little logo or whatever it is in the thing, and it projects it down on the cookie. It's called a copy cake. It's actually a lot of cake decorators use it. So that's what I use, yes, especially when I'm cranking through 30, 40, 50 logos for an order, because time is of the essence. So that has cut down my timing immensely. I use my projector for a lot. I freehand very little at this point, but I used to freehand everything.
That's awesome. Carly did just comment too. She said, "I love it. Thank you, Blythe. My boyfriend just bought me a stand mixer, and I'm so stoked to bake." So that's exciting, Carly. I know that's like I found one at Costco once, and it was like the best thing ever. So I'm excited for you.
There's my industrial one right there, which doesn't look that big. It is actually the biggest counter one you can buy, but yeah, about for a little home baker, about had a heart attack when the price was $1,000.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
One's upstairs in the home kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mixer. I went years without a mixer. Mixers are a stand mixer.
Yeah, they're great.
Sure.
Well, awesome. If nobody else has any other questions, we will go ahead and wrap things up for today. Thank you so much, Blythe. This was so entertaining. I'm literally...
Guys, I hope it was.
No, it was super informative. I think it was great. And I had been so curious about the cookie recipe because if you haven't had Blythe's cookies, they are so good. But they oftentimes, you get them and they're super crunchy or like overly sweet, and your cookies are like perfect. So I know Carly, Beatrice, and I were talking about it because we dropped a bunch of Blythe's cookies off this weekend to people. So
that feedback. I mean, it's taken me years to come up with a recipe that we felt both tasted really good and baked up very well.
Yes, they are delicious. And so what we can do, I'm gonna figure out what I'll do. I'll put everybody who was logged in today. I'll put their names in an Excel document and do a random sort and see who won today. And then I'll just like put you guys in connection so that way we can see who won the cookie giveaway.
And they can be ready for pickup probably tomorrow. I'll go ahead and finish them out.
Okay.
Just got one out today, so I can have those ready
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. I'll get that all squared away. Thank you again so much, and we'll see everybody back here tomorrow at 11.
for tomorrow.
Bye-bye.